Alright, what's up guys, this is Vendigo coming at you with another video today. Today we're going to be talking about the West Nile virus, but before I begin, I want to thank you guys so much for letting me hit up to 16 subscribers. Also, I want to congratulate my friends over at Comic Collectors for their hit of 17 subscribers in just a day. I'm super happy for them, really glad that they were able to do this. Really glad to be a part of, I guess their group or whatever, be proud of, just being able to know them. But anyway, let's begin. We're going to be talking about the West Nile virus. Oh crap. Okay, West Nile virus. Let's begin. Oh yeah, also, before I begin, if you hear any snoring or snorting in any way, it's my log of a pug sleeping on my bed, which is behind me. Excuse him and excuse myself, please. It's a cute little guy. I'll upload a picture on Twitter. Alright, so anyway, the West Nile virus. When summertime comes in and the living is supposed to be easy, it also brings mosquitoes with the West Nile virus who transform those lazy, hazy days into a season of worry about terrible disease that afflicted humankind. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the West Nile virus, or WNV, was first identified by virologists in 1937 in the West Nile district of Uganda. If the virus originated in Africa, had to get into the United States. Where some conspiracy theorists believe that Fidel Castro obtained the West Nile virus from communist bacterial warfare sources, and the Cubans have been releasing hundreds of thousands of birds to infected the disease to fly over our country for years. Virologists note that the West Nile virus was reported in Egypt in the 1950s, while in a rather severe outbreak in Israel in 1957. The virus was identified as a responsible agent in the severe meningoencephalitis in elderly patients. The virus was reported in horses in France in the 1960s. West Nile arrived in the United States in 1999 with cases of encephalitis diagnosed in horses and humans, followed by an outbreak in the New York City area in the United States. The virus is largely maintained in birds, especially crows and blackbirds, and 80% of people the infection causes no symptoms, and many others it only causes mild flu-like symptoms. People over 50 are most likely to be at risk for the extreme reactions of encephalitis and meningitis. New York area authorities decided that the spray, the insecticide, malathion, over certain residential areas in order to reduce the mosquito population. Environmentalists disapproved of the large-scale spraying, arguing that the possible the effects of the chemicals on people's health far outweighed the few lives that might have saved because of it. Conspiracy theorists saw that the hands of the CIA and the shadow government behind the virus's evolution, and heard the echoes of the New World Order's plan to increase the population of the planet. Decrease the population of the planet. Some investigators are very suspicious about the fact that the alleged breakout of the West Nile on the East Coast gave the agents a deception, an excuse to spray millions of mostly Jews, Black, and Hispanic residential areas. In 1953, the Army sprayed clouds of toxic zinc cadmium sulfide over Minneapolis on more than a dozen, that's in Minnesota by the way, a dozen occasions. The reason the citizens was told was to develop an aerosol screen that would protect America from fallout in case of a nuclear attack. Hundreds of miscarriages and stillbirths were attributed to the spray. Later it revealed that the Army was actually testing how chemicals dispersed during biological warfare. The same toxic gas was sprayed over Winnipeg, St. Louis, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Leesburg, Virginia. Also in 1953, Joint Army-Navy CIA experiments exposed tens of thousands of people in New York and the San Francisco airborne Sierratia marcinens and Bacillus it's all Latin, so I'm probably screwing it up, bacteria. 1955, the CIA wishing it to test its ability to infect human populations with biological agents, released a bacterium withdrawn from the Army's biological warfare arsenal over Tampa Bay, Florida. Prior to 1999, the arrival of the West Nile virus in the United States, people worried about the nasty little flying bloodsuckers carrying yellow fever. In 1956, the military released mosquitoes infected with yellow fever over Savannah, Georgia, and Avon Park, Florida. After each test, Army agents posing as public health officials would test infected victims for the range of the effects. Incredible as it might seem, in 1966, Army Scientologists dropped light bulbs filled with the bacteria, Bacillus subtilis variant, Niger, onto the ventilation grates of the New York City subway system and exposed more than 1 million citizens. The November 1970 issue of Military Review disclosed the Army had intensified its development on ethnic weapons, especially designed to target and eliminate specific ethnic groups who would be susceptible due to genetic differences and variations in data. Suspectable. In 1990, more than 1,500 6-month-old Black and Hispanic babies in Los Angeles were given free measles vaccine. The Center for Disease Control admitted that the vaccine never had been licensed for use in the United States, and that the parents were never informed that the vaccine being injected into their children was experimental. Ken Alibek, a Russian biological weapons expert who defected to the United States in the 1990s, informed U.S. authorities that he had thought the West Nile outbreak seemed suspiciously like biowarfare. Other experts in the field of bioterrorism so that terrorists could easily deceive a target with an outbreak of disease that appeared due to natural causes. Conspiracy theorists agree that if terrorists made a biological plague look-alike, ties would be delayed and that the decision-making process would be slowed. Many conspiracy theorists are certain that the spraying in the New York City area was a CIA-sponsored event arranged for propaganda purposes to permit the public to accept willingly other chemical spraying in the future. While the West Nile virus was truly caused some deaths and illnesses, conspiracy theorists warn against any chemical or biological campaigns being conducted in the name of public health and national security. If any spray is applied, citizens should do it themselves to their own bodies with a recognized brand or insect repellent. That is it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Running out of breath. Alright, as always, be good to you people. Bendigo out.